Hi, I'm Brian from the Ensemble Edge Cloud team. In this video, we're going to cover what you need to know to install Ensemble Connector on your server so that you can launch virtualized services. Let's get started. Ensemble Connector installs on a wide range of servers based on the Intel x86 family of processors. You want to make sure you size your server so that it has enough cores, memory, and disk for both Connector and the virtual workloads you want to host. The table on the left shows the minimum requirement to install Connector and how much of those resources Connector uses itself to build the OS in the cloud. The table on the right shows the NICs that Connector can use. Connector discovers key attributes about the server during installation. In our Quick Start document, we provided a list of all the servers that your Connector image automatically recognizes. But if you use a server that is slightly different, we'll show you how to handle that as well. Let's go on to burning your installation USB. We use Rufus to burn USBs. It's a free open source utility that runs on Windows. So install your USB into your PC and launch Rufus. Your USB will show up as a device at the top. Select your downloaded Connector ISO image. Slide the persistent storage bar all the way to the right and start. Burning the USB will probably take about 10 minutes, so we are definitely speeding things up a bit here. When Rufus is done, you can eject the USB from your Windows environment and it's ready to install Connector on your server. Run a cable from your server's console port to your laptop, fire up a terminal program, and open a serial port session to the server. Now plug the USB into your server and power it up. You'll see the boot progress. If your server matches one of the profiles we saved on your image, then Connector just flashes a screen asking if you want to install or customize. At that point, you should select I and press Enter to begin installation. Or if you wait 10 seconds, Connector will begin installation on its own. If the installer does not find a match for your server in its hardware profile, well, then you'll see a message like I am showing now. In this case, the customization utility leads you through a series of prompts to install Connector on your server, and then it saves that profile on your USB, so the next time the USB is used, the installer recognizes the server and automatically installs. So here's the first screen of customization. If you're running a server with more than 8 GB of memory, you want to OpenStack, so click Next. The next screen asks about a privileged account. So enter 1 and follow the prompts to enter a username and a password. Next comes the assisted port mapping. Just follow the instructions on the left panel. The installer is going to ask you to plug an active Ethernet cable into the port that you want to be called port 0.1. When you do this, it detects the Ethernet activity and maps that port to the proper PCIe address. Then Connector will prompt you to do the same thing for port 0.2, and so on until you have mapped all of the Ethernet ports on your server to human-friendly names that matches your server labeling. After that, press C to complete and enter a label name for the USB. Then Connector reboots and begins the actual installation. This time, the Connector recognizes your server, and now it will flash the screen we described earlier. Select I and press Enter to bypass the wait time. Now Connector is installing, and yes, we are speeding the video up because installation can take about 20 to 25 minutes. The final message you'll see tells you to reboot the server. Before you do, make sure you remove the USB, otherwise you get to watch the installation happen again. Your next steps will be to create a Connector instance in Ensemble Mano and ZTP launch that Connector into service. And you can do all of that without ever needing to log into the Connector CLI. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and check out the other videos in this series. Thanks for watching.